technical, not to get bogged down into the technical, but just to make it seem like it's really the surface of the moon. And
Yes.
I mean, we must have been technical challenges.
Yes. Well, we used a lot of front screen projection.
Right, the Scotchlight service, which
Yes,
and will
exactly.
you develop that technology, or you perfected that technology during the 2001 shoot?
That's right.
Okay, and
And if you examine the photographs, the stills, you can actually see the stitching in this in the background.
you mean if you were to adjust gamma and contrast, you
That's
could,
right.
huh?
You're right, it could have been. But then at the same time, it could have just been some fucking drive-by night guy. It could have been a motherfucking smoker out to get his, you know? But what do you say?
No, my man too sharp for that.
He too
I
sharp
mean,
for that.
shit happens, but
Let me tell you something.
the way I'm getting it, man, it's like it came from top dog, man, and that's your area, man. That's your part of town.
B, let me tell you something, man. I'm too busy right now as far as all this, you know, the little shit. I understand, you know, this is my territory. I understand, you know, I'm supposed to know what's going on. And I do know what's going on. But I need you to know that we're taking this game to the next level. All right? So I got my captains, I got my runners, they doing their thing. But right now, we're trying to invest. We're trying to invest our money and our time in the bigger things. All right? We're trying to expand.
So you saying fuck everybody. You just want to move on regardless of who you step on or who you push aside or whatever,
No, what I'm saying is that it's a cold world, and either you go out there and grab it, or you get fucked over and you're the one getting stepped on.
But that works two ways. That's a snake with two heads. That happened to everybody. That can happen to you also, bro.
It happened the same way now.
We had a rapport, man. And I thought that was something that we supposed to both take care of and keep in check.
Yeah, but at the same time, my man, you gotta be on the swivel. You gotta know what you need to do. You know what I mean? We gotta expand. All right, we opening up businesses. If you want to tag along, you want to get down, then I suggest you come aboard. But as far as your niece's, you know, fiance, hey, listen, you know, I'm sure the police will find them, you know, somewhere in the river, you know, in a lot, in some grass, somewhere face down.
Police, fuck that, man. I need to know what's going on because, see, all that shit says to me is I don't give a fuck about you, what you want to do about it.
Listen,
And that's something that we definitely don't need because there's enough money and it's enough territory. But I can see you trying to squeeze me or squeeze my workers, or, you know, and that shit there, man.
I'm not
It's
trying.
gonna backfire.
I'm not trying to squeeze you. All I'm trying to do is just open up your mind. All right, there's bigger shit out there. All right, fuck the sections, fuck the territory. I'm trying to take down all of it. Like seriously, you could be a part of it, or you could just have your section, and you know you'll keep getting your cut, or you can keep getting a larger cut. It's up to you.
So you young motherfuckers actually think because of that youth, man, that we just not equal for real. Just I can take my cut, I can have my little potatoes, my little pieces of pretzels and shit, huh? Like it's a peon type of thing. Now you that guy.
Hey, listen.
I've been doing this thing, man, when you was still sitting on the steps, man.
Yeah, and I learned a lot from you, but time's moving on. Now, I'm giving you the respect and decency to understand that, you know, you can keep your territory. I'm offering you, you know, a spot to move along with us. You know, you can come on and do your thing.
You offering me a spot.
I'm offering you a spot. That's
What
how
you
fast
mean
we
you
move.
offering me, man? This is I should have that. I should have that territory also.
You should,
on the scrim.
but you don't. You hear me? We making moves, you
Don't
wasting
be
time.
sure of that. Don't be sure of that.
Well, you know, if you
I
got
mean,
your
like I said, shit happens, man, and excuse me. When one fall, believe me, that's a domino effect. Then it goes around the board. You know, so don't be too cocky thinking because of that youth that shit ain't going on in your table, because I'm quite sure there's a lot of shit going on that you don't know about in your own backyard, big boy.
And I really think you should stop worrying about my backyard and worry more about your backyard and the people that you losing and that's dropping on my streets.
But that's exactly why I'm mentioning to you, because see, you give me no choice but to worry about your backyard, because this is where all the foul shit is coming from. You know? Hey, I've been keeping it 1,000, but again, because of this little youth thing, you young cats think because motherfucker over the hill you can do and say and get away with it. It's not like that. It's not like that, baby boy.
Let me
It's
tell you
not like
something.
that. We done
It don't gotta
spent
be like
millions.
that. We spend millions, and we constantly getting money, but we're gonna get more money. We gotta get established, all right? It's hot out there on the streets. You know that. You know what I mean? They're
Right.
pinching us in different areas, different sections, and we're barely making it out. You know what I'm saying? We're still doing our thing. We're still staying one up on the popo. But at the same time, I mean, what if all this shit crashes? You know what I mean? What if it crashes? What do you got? You got to lean on. You got nothing. You got your section. You getting older. Go ahead and listen. B, get smarter with it. All right. Now I'll look into what happened to your niece's fiance. All right. You got my word on that. And if we find something, you'll be the first one I let know. All right.
All right, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Keep me in touch, man, because again, man, that's not cool. Because if something like that would occur, in fact, it wouldn't occur, not in my territory. We don't play them games like that.
You know when you're having a baby and everyone says it'll change your life, and you say, I know.
You don't know.
Life is full of surprises.
Hey, check this out. She's not supposed to roll over till next month, and she just rolled over.
You learn as you go.
We actually watched a movie last Friday. I'm gonna buy this.
Honey, she's 3 months old.
Yeah, but this is the bomb.
Everything we do is about connecting you to the stuff you love most. Comcast.
Call Comcast before you move, and we'll have you connected at your new home when you move in.
Thanks, son.
Call before you move, have it when you get there.
Hon, we're missing a cushion.
Has anyone seen Johnson?
He called in again.
Must really be sick.
What'd he got?
Comcast digital cable. Hundreds of channels, thousands of choices.
I heard they gotta fly the grandmother in.
Plus faster, more advanced high-speed internet. Both just $69.95 per month for 3 months.
Has anyone seen Miller?
Now this could change everything. Comcast. Comcast digital cable. Hundreds of channels, thousands of kid-friendly programs. Just $39.95 per month for 3 months. Now this could change everything. Comcast.
You don't look sick to me, and I'm not writing you a note.
Comcast high-speed internet.
You never have to wait to connect to Comcast high-speed internet service.
You getting online?
Yep.
Where's the noise?
What noise?
You know that.
We're always connected, so there's no noise.
Good, I hate that noise.
No dialing up, always connected. No noise. Comcast high-speed internet. Call now and get this great deal.
What was it like having 22 kids at once? Long. This year's present was a no-brainer. Ever since we got Comcast digital cable with Stars, we have hundreds of great choices from all our favorite networks. And now with Stars, we get up to 5 Stars channels and over 300 hit movies each month. So there's always something on for each of us to watch, even when it's just the two of us.
Get Comcast digital cable with Stars. Sign up today and pay only $39.99 a month plus free installation. Call 1-866-GO-CABLE.
If you have Comcast digital cable, you'll soon see exciting new improvements to the way you find all of your favorite shows. Soon, you'll be able to see further into the future. Fly through channels faster than ever. Plus, you'll be able to access all your favorite features with just one click, including On Demand, with hundreds of free shows you can start whenever you're ready. The new on-screen program guide is coming. Only to Comcast digital cable.
When I was your age, we didn't have On Demand. So what'd you do? We watched whatever shows were on. What about movies? We had these places called video rental stores. You'd travel miles to get there. And sometimes you'd get there and the movie you wanted was already rented out. You lived quite a life.
Free movies, shows, and more. Ready to watch when you are with On Demand from Comcast Digital Cable. It's Comcastic.
Comcast high-speed internet has always been fast.
Just let me download this big old file.
But it's not just speed.
Okay.
It's what you do with it.
Whoa.
Okay, one more.
And now that we're raising ours to 4 megs, photos and music download faster than ever.
Last one, I promise.
And features like photo show and video mail work even better. Because no one likes to wait. Comcast, America's #1 high-speed internet provider. Still for the same low price. Call 1-888-COMCAST today.
I'm not saying going to the moon is easy, but
well, of course, it had a lot to do with ego and the Russians and what have you.
Why should Americans believe you? Why should Americans even analyze this question?
I am devoted to truth.
You lied for 30 years about this. Why didn't you come clean in 75, 74, or whenever? I mean, why did it take 30 years?
Well, not anymore. And this was
why was it in deep trouble?
Just spent so damn much money, billions and billions of dollars. This would save them. This great PR would save them. It was hard for him to say this next part. He was looking into his drink, kind of like I am now, and finally he said that. We can't tell people the truth, that we can't get to the moon. It would be disastrous for NASA. Their funding would dry up. People wouldn't have faith in them anymore. It would be like a
faith, it would be over,
failure.
right? It would be over.
Yes, it would be absolutely over. So if we fake this moon landing, it would do nothing but increase the reputation. And it was obviously something I never expected, and I was blown away. And yes, I was also much younger than I am now, and I was on a bit of an ego trip of my own.
And what did they say? And how did they put it to you? I mean, what was their pitch? I mean, what is it? What got you? Something must have got you. I mean, or did you say yes right away? I mean, how did it go?
Well, yeah, they dangled some fruit in front of me, and I grabbed it.
But
I told you about the promises.
Right. But what moral problem? I mean, right away you knew it was a lie. But
no, I didn't right away. I was too overwhelmed. I was too blown away, simply blown away by the privilege of it, the challenge of it, the honor of it.
Okay, I guess it was flattering to be the only one.
Absolutely. You can't imagine. You just cannot imagine.
So they came to you and said, "Oh, you're the greatest."
Until later. Because to me it was the fucking ultimate challenge.
It is. I mean, because film.
If I could fool people with this, then I am the greatest film artist of the 20th century.
Or any century. I mean,
no,
in a way, it's taking film to the meta level. There's documentary, there's fiction. We know documentaries are real. We know fictions are fake. We suspend disbelief.
Parallel with this.
But that's my point. It's like the ultimate hybrid.
That's my point exactly. There is nothing parallel with it.
So creatively and artistically, you saw this sort of a once in a many lifetime opportunity to play with all these billions of dollars to make the ultimate movie that no one even knew was a movie.
Right. Certainly in that century.
All right. And the geopolitical chess match between Russia that was going on, it would have weakened their position, so to speak.
Yes.
And I guess
that
money.
Was background. That was great background for the story. Yes.
There's also, it must have been about
because there was still
money.
a red fear, a communist fear among the people.
Right. Sure. That was right. You're coming to the yeah. Sure. I mean, missile crisis and all that. Okay. But it's also really about like anything else about money. I mean, they'd spent the equivalent of $1 billion, almost $1 trillion of our dollars now on this program.
Yes. In addition to being impossible and unsafe, it was also terribly expensive.
But no, what I'm saying is that it was so expensive that to fail would not, quote unquote, not be an option. In other words, at a certain point, you spend so much taxpayer money. My question I'm asking is Nixon motivated, whoever these men that decided this to perpetrate this fraud, was it the money? In other words, if you can't go to or maybe you can, I don't know. Can you go to the American people after spending $1 trillion and say, we've got nothing to show for it?
No.
So
obviously.
But I'm saying is how much of that was the motivation?
Of course, that was a huge part of it. A huge part of it. It was hard for him to say this next part. He was. I think this was hard for him to get out. Finally, he said that we can't tell people the truth, that we can't get to the moon. It would be disastrous for NASA. Their funding would dry up. People wouldn't have faith in them anymore. It would be like
in faith, it would be over,
failure.
right? It would be over.
Yes, it would be absolutely over. So if we fake this moon landing, it would do nothing but increase the reputation. Looked at his drink kind of like this and said, we have to fake this. We have to fake this moon landing, just to keep interest in NASA, and in the next few years, we might actually be able to go for real.
Come on.
Because we wouldn't give up. We'd still work on it. We would still be working on it, trying to make this trip possible. But we have to do it now. If we didn't fake this, if we didn't lie about it, eventually people would lose interest, and the funding would dry up for NASA. It would just cease to exist.
The dream.
And the dream would be dead. It would be gone. The greatest thing in the world for this country would be to go to the moon. And that being gone, it would be just devastating for the national mood. It was about morale. It was about money. It was about money. It was about morale. Chiefly money. As most things are.
So you're an expert in photography, clearly, and cinematography. So you're telling me that, like 2001, the moon landings were no different, essentially, except we know that 2001's a story and a fiction. But you're essentially saying you went from one space set to another space set? I mean, what was that like? I mean, what was the experience like doing it?
2001 was great training for the moon landing fakery.
I have seen one or two things in my life, but never anything like this.
What exactly is the treatment here going to be then?
Just going to show you some film.
Stop it, please, I beg you!
The base is being put on condition red.
You little scumbag! I got your name! I got your ass! You will not laugh! You will not cry!
You know how we've always talked about the possibility of something going wrong with the bomb.
The whole point of the doomsday machine is lost. If you keep it a secret, why didn't you tell the world, eh?
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
Is there something bad here?
I think a lot of things happen right here in this particular hotel. And not all of them was good.
Great coffee, isn't it?
He sat in the Kurova milk bar, trying to make up our razudos what to do with the evening. This would sharpen you up and make you ready for a bit of the old ultraviolence.
You will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death, praying for war.
Today, war is too important to be left to politicians.
Quilty, I want you to concentrate. You're going to die.
You're trying to make me jealous.
If you men only knew.
I just want to be good.
Goodness comes from within. Goodness is chosen. When a man cannot choose, he ceases to be a man.
Wendy, I'm home. I just want to be good.
Goodness comes from within. Goodness is chosen. When a man cannot choose, he ceases to be a man.
Wendy, I'm home.
Get some, baby! Get some, come on! Get it, come on! Get some, yeah!
I wanted to be the first kid on my block to get a confirmed kill.
The world watched and listened. The President of the United States spoke to the astronauts across the vastness of space.
I bring you greetings from your fellow Americans.
It's also really about, like anything else, about money.
There's only one small catch.
I mean, they'd spent, well, the equivalent of $1 billion, almost $1 trillion of our dollars now on this program.
It never happened. It's all a lie.
Yes.
A fantastic $30 billion hoax.
It was also terribly expensive.
So there we are. After all those hopes and all that dreaming.
Because we were so damn close.
He sits there with those flags behind his chair and tells me we can't afford a screw-up.
The Americans were more advanced in trickery, and that's what they did. They figured out a way to fake it.
Congress is on my back. They're looking for a reason to cancel the program.
He said the NASA's funds are just drying up. Just spent so damn much money.
Then suddenly everybody started talking about how much everything costs.
Money!
Was it really worth $20 billion to go to another planet?
It's a gas.
A huge part of it.
What about cancer? What about the slums? How much does it cost?
Morale, it was about money. It was about money, as most things are.
Money!
How much does any dream cost, for Christ's sake?
I'm alright, Jack. Keep your hands off of my stack.
So expensive that to fail would not, quote unquote, not be an option.
And I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
At a certain point, you spend so much taxpayer money.
Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash.
My question I'm asking is, whoever these men that decided this to perpetrate this fraud,
mainly Nixon.
Can you go to the American people after spending $1 trillion and say we've got nothing to show for it?
No.
There will be only one course of action open.
And guess what? We had a screw-up. A first-class, bona fide, made-in-America screw-up.
Right,
he didn't even have to finish, but he did.
We found out 2 months ago it won't work.
It was around the time of the release of Full Metal Jacket that rumours of Kubrick's apparent eccentric, reclusive behaviour began appearing in the papers.
Between being an artistic perfectionist and being a barking loon.
And we are all about to witness
Stanley has clearly crossed that line.
the fulfillment of that promise that President Kennedy made.
And then some.
Launch Complex 39 was cleared and we began to load liquid propellant into the launch vehicle.
So you
ever thought
feel bad about this, clearly.
for a single solitary moment
I do feel bad about it.
about my responsibility?
I also feel proud of it. It's a terrible conflict.
Wow. I mean,
I think a lot of things happened right here in this particular hotel, and not all of them was good.
is that because of the stress of this?
Of course.
I apologize.
Stress, guilt, just conflict of all kinds.
Today, war is too important to be left to politicians.
Like, if you could look at me because of the lighting, I don't want you to go into the darkness because I'm lighting you sort of.
I didn't even know you were over there, but okay.
Okay, well, this isn't some type of joke or
No, it's not.
film
joke.
within a film thing.
Not a joke. Nope.
Okay.
The conspiracy theorists were right on this occasion.
Why?
Get the president out of the way and hire Stanley Kubrick.
Just how about you walk me through it?
Stanley Kubrick,
I was contacted before I started making 2001.
the man who created 2001, you kind of wonder if he made a deal.
Under the Masonic moon.
And
When he was brought into it,
After Kennedy said his thing, you're saying?
how the deal was made.
Why are you telling me?
a massive fraud.
We are still
An unparalleled fraud
with Apollo 11.
perpetrated against them.
Unit going to internal power.
They should know.
I understand.
Why in God's name?
Thank you for telling me the truth.
Don't you think it's important for people to know the truth?
You deserve it.
This motion picture was produced to enable you to experience more personally and vividly.
So you're saying the reason why you're one of the few, or if only, filmmaker in Hollywood that enjoys Final Cut and virtually no studio interference is because of
my cooperation with the government.
Like a deal with the devil.
Yes. It's Faustian, to be sure.
And is that why you got such power in Hollywood? I mean, that would explain that.
Why I have the freedom I have, that was part of it, yes. When I made Spartacus, I didn't have this kind of freedom. But I have it now.
Millions all over the world watched and listened.
So doing it, what was the process of doing it like?
The most dramatic events of the Apollo 11 story.
What was it like just making another film?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
Well,
the pictures and sounds are real.
Every film is a challenge.
Houston is monitoring the actual flight.
But this was the supreme challenge.
Recorded in real time.
Why?
All the telemetry is coming from the command module, so are your voices and your medical data. We recorded everything from the practice simulations.
Because it was absolutely necessary.
Where the action really was.
Not only that people believe it, but they believe it in spite of.
So, come with us.
The facts.
Who knows about this? Almost nobody.
At ABC Space Headquarters in New York.
Okay.
Everything I was filming was a lie.
We are going to the moon.
On a grand scale.
Almost nobody.
At ABC Space Headquarters in New York.
And it was such a, for lack of a better word, a rush, an artistic, aesthetic rush, that the morality of it hardly entered into it at all. Maybe not at all.
While you were filming it?
While I was filming it, yes.
6.
In a way, it was another job.
It is July 16th.
But at the same time, it was the ultimate job.
5. 1969.
The expectations were just so extraordinary.
4. Okay.
There's a huge crowd out here of reporters, visitors, VIPs, and others.
I mean, obviously, yeah, it must have been the biggest challenge of your life.
3.
Absolutely.
Milling around and talking and gossiping and handshaking and telling jokes.
I mean, the technical...
2, 1.
Not to get bogged down into the technical, but...
Making a lot of noise in a busy, vivid scene.
Just to make it seem like it's really the surface of the moon and...
0. Ignition sequence start.
I mean, we must have been technical challenges.
Yeah, just years of innovation, risk-taking, regrets.
I think it means that the job of landing something on the moon where there's no atmosphere and using a rocket to slow it up and having the equipment still work is a very difficult job.
We've been brought in here by Stanley Kubrick to more or less ensure the scientific integrity of the film.
I mean, what was the experience like?
To make sure that it's very, very close in reality, but still we want to make certain that it has a base of reality.
4 minutes and counting.
Before the end of the 60s, we will see a man in the moon.
This was the supreme challenge.
An American, and we're very proud that our country continues to produce these young men who go so far and carry with them so much.
Why?
We are go for Apollo 11.
To put people on the moon and with enough fuel to enable them to return safely home to Earth requires a still larger and more powerful rocket, however.
Because it was absolutely necessary.
It's going to take some time, and I think we have to recognize it. They secured these large boosters, which have led to their being first in Sputnik and led to their first putting their man in space. We are, I hope, going to be able to carry out our efforts with due regard to the problem of the life of the man involved this year.
Not only that people believe it,
but we are behind.
But they believe it in spite of.
However, let us imagine for a moment that the many problems have been solved.
The facts.
We are ready to begin our first voyage to the moon.
10 or 15 seconds from this time.
Everything I was filming.
It is quite possible that an aggressor nation that dominates space will then dominate the world.
Was a lie.
We're in the final assembly building of the LEM. Stanley Kubrick and I have set ourselves several objectives.
The vehicle starting to pressurize.
We hope to convey to the public the wonder and beauty and promise of the new age of exploration, which is opening up before the human race.
The lie.
Arthur, here we are on the LEM ship, and
on a grand scale.
One can almost imagine we're on our way to the moon.
A Stanley Kubrick production.
We've arrived at the moon, as a matter of fact.
There was too much riding on this whole thing.
Can you believe it?
I kept on falling short of something.
You basically are given a blank check by the government.
Can you realize that that you and I, that all of us, have actually begun the exploration of another world? We have taken the first historic step into our solar system.
You go where to film this? Where?
An enormous soundstage.
We shot it in a studio.
They had built one in Palmdale or Lancaster, I heard. I don't know where it was.
It's one small step for man.
Somewhere in Nevada.
1/10 scale model.
One giant leap for mankind.
Take 2.
It's one small step for man.
You can't say where.
All right, people.
No, because everything in Nevada stays in Nevada, but...
Okay.
Let's get started.
That's good enough. Fair enough. So...
Okay, fine. Let's just try one, okay?
This was all staged, and that's why the video was so crappy in many cases, especially when the lunar module lifted off. It just looked like third-rate video, and they did that on purpose to obscure the fact that it was a model.
This was...
Hey, why don't we just try?
National. The biggest fiction.
Is that the case? Well,
of them all.
Just a little bit of a...
direct buy. The audience is usually aware of the fiction.
This is
blank, but seriously,
I know it's a bit silly.
I worked almost 8 months to secure this once-in-a-lifetime interview that almost no one else could ever get. And instead of talking about his 16 films that I've adored since I was being a child...
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Frank Reynolds at ABC Space Headquarters in New York.
3 seconds away. This is not
from the Apollo 11 liftoff.
Where I thought the interview was going.
35 seconds.
What do you think this mission will tell us about man?
Why in God's name would...
I can see you're really upset about this.
Tranquility. Are you fucking believing this? Over.
Launch Complex 39 was cleared, and we began to load liquid propellant into the launch vehicle.
I don't know what to ask you first. If you're telling the truth, why would you do it? Why the hell did you do this?
I didn't want to do it. It just was... It was against my principles.
Loud and clear now, Mike, and we understand that you are Doc.
That's right. TV looks really great.
I thought it was wrong.
11, you got a pretty big audience.
I didn't believe in perpetrating a fraud like that.
It was right perfect. Roger, how does it look? The Eagle has wings.
But you did.
Capcom, we're go for landing. Eagle, you're looking great. The Eagle has landed. And we're getting a picture on the TV.
It also undermined my artistic integrity to do that.
I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly. Take
holy mother of fuck.
A stress pill and think things over.
Okay.
One, Scion, please.
But you ended up saying yes. Why?
All engines, you're looking good.
Okay, ready for me to come out?
Well, yeah.
The fucking moon. Over.
Became indeed for all mankind.
Because basically I was bribed.
For one priceless moment in the whole history of man.
To put it bluntly,
Here's
that's what it was. It was just a plain fucking bribe.
Looking good.
I wanted the...
Roger.
Good
night from up.
You know, just...
Ryan 3, contact.
You know...
That is on the way up.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things.
I sold out.
Not because they are easy.
I was a fucking whore.
I think a lot of things happened right here, and not all of them was good.
Why didn't you come clean in, 75, 74, or whenever?
I apologize, sir, for not telling you sooner.
You lied for 30 years about this.
Well, not anymore.
Today, war is too important to be left to politicians.
A Stanley Kubrick production. There was too much riding on this whole thing.
I kept on falling short of something.
You basically are given a blank check by the government. And you go where to film this? Where?
An enormous soundstage.
We shot it in a studio.
They had built one in Palmdale or Lancaster, I heard. I don't know where it was.
Somewhere in Nevada.
1/10 scale model.
You can't say where.
All right, people.
No, because everything in Nevada stays in Nevada. But anyway.
Okay.
Let's get started.
That's good enough.
You just felt it in your bones. No, spin the fucking thing. I can't spin it. Hurt someone. All right, one more spin. You gotta stop before I break your finger. One more spin.
Are you telling me that you weren't aware that there were over 400 miniature cameras recording all of the events of that evening?
What are you talking about? 400? Where were the?
Not entirely. Okay, and that was you as a filmmaker. You knew about, of course, you know.
Designed, from what we could gather, so that there would be no corner that would not be filmed.
How would they? Someone have like a camera phone or something?
Are you telling?
Keep your precious love so before the night.
The way of the hurricane, and I think I'm fine, like I'm in the eye of the hurricane.
Turns out a couple of them had left the party for unrelated reasons, and
I think that a bunch of 21-year-olds thought that their life was so interesting. Someone thought that they would videotape this party.
People are filmed all the time at parties.
You know, it's like Animal House without all the togas.
I think that that's what you have here.
At a party, there's nothing that's private. There is no privacy at parties.
A couple of things went wrong.
Had this had gone, had they stayed alive.
On 2 of the victims, there is upper body trauma.
3 things happening.
Confirmed that the fire was started intentionally.
And we have, a crime that's being investigated.
Small clues about what might have started the blaze.